Turn that off. All right, pardon me. Just making some adjustments as this is my first time back on here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see now. Facebook. Oh, Jesus. All right. Sometimes life is easier when you just do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what's going on? What's going on? All right, just kind of waiting for people to notice that I'm here and I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, kind of been a little minute since I've done this. Anyway, sorry about that. Getting these verifications and everything else. Continue. So, what's good? What's good? All right. Now, before we get started today, I see people starting to kind of file in a little bit, slowly but surely. All that good stuff. And there's some elephants in the room, if you will, that I need to tackle before we go all the way in on this whole dating thing. Because, like, for me, I feel like who you are and who you represent and what people think of you in certain aspects is a very, very, very important thing. And I think sometimes those things get misconstrued. Why don't I see this on my Facebook page? See what I'm talking about? This thing be fucking around. Sometimes those things get misconstrued. And because of that, people are misrepresented, which isn't cool because I feel like a person's worth, and especially in some of the communities and circles that I run in, your reputation is like very, very important to you. You know what I'm saying? So not having, if something is, like if something's being said about you, or if people speak of you, and I know you're not supposed to worry about the thoughts of others and so on and so forth and all that good stuff. But in truth, if someone is running around and they're, saying whatever they saying as far as you go, sometimes you have to take initiative and step up to address these things. Why? Because at the end of the day, hi Roxy, I see you waving. I couldn't see it before. But at the end of the day, you can't allow for these things to go unaddressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like I said, in the communities that I function in, we might get on to some activities of a alternative nature, as far as it might seem sexually provocative to those who are not of that said community. Might seem sexually provocative. Oh, Jesus. To those who sorry about are that. Not of that said community. Might seem sexually provocative. Oh, Jesus. My bad. So anyway, that being said, you don't want people to just be chatting about you and you don't address it. Now, last time I checked, this is supposed to be a judgment-free atmosphere. That's the selling point. That's what that that's the marketing, if you will. But apparently, as honorable as a person as I am, pardon me, gonna put my phone do not disturb because somebody's gonna fucking call me while I'm doing this. I know they are. Anyway, so what I don't like is I don't like people that don't know me trying to discuss things about me or about people that I associate with. So apparently there's some crazy idea where it is thought that me and the guys that I interact with just hump on any old thing. And I just want to address that in person on my show. Because me and my guys, my gorillas, my peoples, yes, we can go into a party and run roughshod through that shit if we want to. And if we do, we will do so in a safe and responsible manner. But at the same time, if we say, you know what, we just gonna, keep it light, or we just gonna chill out, have a little fun, then that's cool too. And the thing is, I don't want anybody to get this shit fucked up. I'm not the type to just go jumping on anybody. I'm actually quite selective and I really move very strategically. If you really pay attention, you'll see what I'm doing. And my guys are very much the same way. They're actually more mellow than I am. I'm probably the most aggressive out of the three of us. So I want y'all, those who like to speak and who like to chat, this is your opportunity to go run tell this. If you want to talk about me, come to me first so I can give you the true story. Because at the end of the day, I'm a man of non-sneaky, non-backdoor. I'm a very straight up, honorable person. And this isn't a thread or anything like this. This ain't even that. This is just, holla at me if you want to know about me. And another thing is, if me and you aren't together, or whatever the case may be, don't worry about what my man Wand is doing. He's good where he at. Don't show no concern for something that you're not investing in. So now I'm finished with that. I just wanted to start off with that because I wanted to get that out of the way before we get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. Because what I see a lot of is I see a lot of people doing a lot of what is it? I would say they do a lot of like, what the fuck was that? They do a lot of faux pas when it comes to dating. Like they monkey branch, they don't put in the, I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, they do a lot of monkey branching when it comes to dating, and it's extremely, extremely frustrating because you have to realize that your time is your most valuable currency. Okay, seriously? Time out. What is going on today? I got. Hello? Okay. Let's try this again. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was weird. Am I speaking about something so crazy that lightning is coming from above? We having a wild show already today. First show, and I'm having all these wild sounds coming from everywhere. Let me make sure to mute. He is on my side. He is- Oh, I know what's happening. Those are my Bluetooth speakers. For some reason, he is on my side. He is on my side. Jesus, he wants to be my side. Give me a second, please. Okay. I don't understand what this church sermon is. Somebody see what happens is this is the thing that I hate too, is that with the speakers. Yeah, somebody was syncing up to my speaker, not realizing they weren't syncing up to theirs. Either that or they were being funny and trying to sync up to my speakers, thought it was cute to play a little music while I'm doing this. I don't know why they doing that. I might have to do a reverse trace when I finish with this podcast and see where that's coming from. Because what they don't know is technology is always a two-way street. Oh no, everybody on this floor knows I'm a demon because they've either heard something coming out of my damn apartment, or if it wasn't that, what they might hear is oh no, my apartment door actually has upside down pineapple and all of that stuff on the apartment door. So they already know what's going on here. And I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, my thing is muted, everything's muted, and yet this music coming through, like that's really cute. But now I muted it so they can't do anything else because I manually hit the mute button. I have Bluetooth speakers in my wall in my apartment. So that I forgot those were on because normally my tablet's connected to it, but it wasn't connected to it. So that's why that happened. Anyway, it is Titty Tuesday. That is amazing. Thank you, Janessa. Thank you for reminding me because Jesus, like, I feel like this was a dry Titty Tuesday. Like, the titties wasn't outside like that today. Got me throwing off my whole show. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I got Jesus on my side playing, and I'm like, I don't even go to church anymore. Really, I don't have nothing against church, but it's not really my bag. I don't think so. I don't go. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about these relationships because some of y'all be playing games now. I see a lot of people. There's a lot of singles running around lifestyle community. I notice there's a lot of, I call them lifestylers of convenience. The reason why I call them lifestyles of convenience is the only lifestyle, and I say this especially for the women, they only lifestyle until the men come in their lives and all of a sudden they just turn monogamous and wear a whole nun outfit and start singing songs like the one that was just playing a little while ago. You know what I'm saying? And I might have to add that as a part of my background music now. Jesus on my side. I'm gonna set up that song and use it as my background music. Hopefully I don't get copyright strict for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do the Lord's work here. I'm trying to help people to have better and more successful relationships and lifestyles. So in order to do that, maybe that was the blessing from up above to let me know that I'm doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Um, I've had that done to me before, where I've had women, like, I'll tell them, like, listen, I am ethically non-monogamous. I'm a straight male, and I am not interested in a milk toast vanilla relationship. I want something interesting, something with some dynamics. I prefer poly because that's really my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch my woman have a great time too, and we can have a great time together. Like, this is stuff that I am looking to experience. And I feel like this experience is something that can be had if you find the right partner. The thing is with me, you stupid Janessa. The thing is with me is people need to be honest with themselves. And for those that know, and you know who I'm talking to, I'm looking at you. You have to be honest with yourselves, with your partners. Because some of y'all pick partners that really ain't on the same time as you. You can't look at their potential of what they're going to be in the future. This is one of the biggest problems that I see. And I'm going to say this. I know I got probably mostly women watching this, but women tend to look at the potential in a man and say, I'm going to get with him because he has the potential to be great. Don't do that. Now, granted, if he's on the upward swing and actively maneuvering, see, 3 people ran away as soon as I said that. If he's on the active swing and willing to maneuver, and he's already moving in a direction that is where you are or where you're heading, that's okay. That kind of potential is cool. But the thing is, a lot of times y'all will meet somebody and you'll say, oh, yeah, they seem cool or whatever, and everything's all cute or whatever. But the fucking guy is not like, you want to swing. The guy is not with you doing anything. That's not going to work. It's not. Unless there's development in that direction. But sitting here and saying, oh, one day we're going to whatever, no. Because what happens in those situations is you end up with somebody resenting the other person. Either the person who feels like they're being pressured into doing things that they're really not ready to do feels away, or the person who, oh, there it is, or the person who chooses to stick with somebody who isn't going to play by their rules ends up feeling away. Either way, you end up with a toxic situation that's going to result in a failure of your relationship. So my thing is you have to recognize that you cannot allow yourself to get into these relationships and knowing good goddamn well that the person is not going to give you what you want. They're not going to be that thing that you want them to be. You have to recognize and accept that. If you recognize and accept that, you'll be surprised as to how much easier it will be when you do find somebody that fits in a relationship. I understand people don't want to be alone and yada, yada, yada. Nobody wants to really be by themselves. It sucks. You want to have somebody with you, love on somebody, kiss on somebody. It's all cute and all that other bullshit. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is sometimes you have to accept the fact that you just have to tough it out by yourself until that right person comes along. You got to give yourself patience. You got to be patient with that shit. You got to give yourself a chance to actually find a proper individual that's going to help you and go on that journey with you. If you have a plan to do a particular thing, you have to recognize that if this person ain't in your plan, you got to let them go. Even if there's somebody who I love them. And then listen, love can be some nasty work, because love can get you in a situation where you end up not having anything going, where you end up hating each other. Love and hate are a two-way street that can easily be crossed at any time. It is so easy. You ever notice, like you think about it, for those that are single parents, think about this shit. You once upon a time was with somebody, you made a baby with somebody, you might have loved that person at one time or another. Now you can't stand them. The thought of you even interacting with them is giving you the heebie fucking jeebies. Like something like that, that's crazy to me. But it happens all of the time. I will tell you, I counsel so many people that literally they put themselves in failing relationships, and it's simply done because they don't take the time to actually really vet somebody out before they start claiming them. They start talking to them for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Next thing you know, they posting up my baby, my love, my everything. Calm down. Take your time. Let the shit cook. A lot of y'all out here eating raw chicken. It get a little brown on the outside. Next thing you know, you got salmonella. Why? Because you never gave that shit the chance to cook. You gotta let that shit cook. You can't be out here. Oh, you see somebody. Oh, you ladies, you'll meet a man. He handsome. He got a little bit of change in his pocket. He got a big dick, and he fucking the shit out of you. And you looking and saying, "Oh my God, I think I found what I wanted." Da 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 da. Week and a half later, you fucking looking for him in the daytime with a flashlight, and it's like, calm down and listen. There's nothing wrong with being interested, because I will also explain to you the other half of this. But we here right now, and on this side, what I'm saying is you gotta let this shit simmer. Take your time, like you would with a piece. Love is very much like a piece of meat. You gotta let it cook all the way if you really want the top quality from it. Don't let it cook too long, because then the motherfucker burn. There is a point when you take that shit off the heat and you dive in, but you gotta time that shit right, because if you don't do that, you're gonna end up with a situation where you're gonna get yourself, instead of getting sick physically, you're gonna get sick emotionally. And emotional sickness can manifest into a physical sickness. A lot of people have ended up in major depressions and their bodies falling apart, their hair's falling out, all types of shit is happening because, no, this didn't happen because I was stressed, it's just genetics. But, their hair's falling out, all of that stuff. And that's happening because they never took the time to really know the person before they decided to jump all the way in on some I love you shit. Calm down. If that person is really trying to fuck with you, you don't need to lock that shit down in 5 minutes. Like you have to understand that there has to be a point where you really stop for a minute and you really think to yourself, I keep going through one bad relationship after the other. I keep saying, oh, this and that, and these guys ain't shit, these women ain't this. There's one common denominator in all of that, and that's you. You have to recognize, in order to be the best version of yourself or to get the best possible match for yourself, you have to be the best version of yourself. A lot of y'all are receiving trash because honestly, that's the energy you projecting out. You talking about there's pee in the dating pool, but you standing in the motherfucker. That's crazy to me. Why you standing in the pissy pool? I know if I see a pool full of piss, I ain't standing in that motherfucker. I'm getting the hell out of there. And a lot of y'all are the ones peeing in the pool and y'all don't drink no water, so the shit orange as fuck. Y'all got to realize it's not them that's the problem. It's likely you. You will be a part of the problem. You are a part of the problem. There's something that you probably could do better that you're not doing. Like I said, and I've said this on other shows and I'll say it again. A lot of you women, and I say it's women especially because y'all the ones that's culprits for this. A lot of you women have a decent guy that would treat you right and make you happy, sitting on unread in your inbox, and you didn't catch his message because you too busy running behind the dude that's still peeing in the bed, that's still trying to sleep on your couch, the dude that's still asking you to borrow $10 so he could go get a couple slices of pizza. You're missing out on a quality individual that'll take you out, that'll do things, and he'll bust your ass too. He will bust your ass too. Yo, what up, Mark? He'll bust your ass too. And you're missing out on him because you're too busy chasing behind some poo-putt fuck-ass dude. That's your fault. And I see y'all do it, so don't sit up here and tell me that ain't you. Y'all seen some of y'all do it. I don't know if it's anybody that's watching this, but it's definitely people that'll see this eventually, if not right now. I've seen y'all do it. Y'all sit there and y'all woo-hoo-hoo, and you running behind some poop-put ass dude, and I'm like, why are you even wasting time with this dude? Oh, because of the dick? Decent dudes got dick too. You just too busy because you are so used to toxicity, you don't know what fresh air smells like. You think shit smells like roses because you've been living in it so long. There's a reason why so many people live in this shitty and pissy dating pool. Because they've been in this shit so long, they've psychologically become nose blind to this shit. So they don't understand that the reason why it's shitty and it's pissy is not because of some mysterious individual that doesn't have that's just peeing all in it mysteriously. No, it's cumulatively and collectively everybody that's currently in it somehow, some way, fucking it up. So I want you to keep that in your head, because if you change the nature of what's going on, if you change the nature of your circumstances, if you change the nature of your psychology, of your mentality, your actions, stop doing the same things. Stop being a chick that says, I don't really like talking on phone like that, so I'll only be texting. Let me tell you something. Y'all be the same ones complaining about a dude got poor communication skills. Your communication skills are poor, stupid. Guess what? In 2024, the same rules apply that applied in 1994. You got to pick up the fucking phone. You have to have a conversation. I think it's crazy to me that a girl would even think that I would take them out and they wouldn't take time to talk to me on the phone. I've had girls say to me, oh, I'm not going to, talking about they want to go out with me, but I ain't never had one phone conversation with them. Guess how many times they went out with me? Just as many times as I've talked to them on the phone. Because ain't nobody got time for that shit. I need to psychologically know where you at before I have you outside with me, because I got shit to lose, and I need to know who you are before I have you in my circle. Because I ain't got time to put nobody ass in the fucking ground off the strength of you having some drama or some messiness going on, and I gotta fucking react, and then that puts me in a precarious situation. That's one of the reasons I don't even like sleeping over a girl house. You come to my crib, because you ain't gonna run up on my shit. So I ain't worried about that. And this is the stuff that I will say that I personally experienced, that people that I know personally have experienced. It's crazy to me. Oh, what's your IG? You give me your IG, you might as well not give me a number and not bother, because I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call you on Messenger. No. We will go out when we have been on the phone. If we ain't been on the phone, then we ain't going out. That's it. We need to normalize that shit. Because I get it that this is the age of technology and we have all these different ways to communicate. Nah. And this is another thing, and this is advice that I give for those that have run into a lot of catfishing. Don't go out with anybody that you've never had a video chat with. Now, see, I can be an exception to the rule because my face is all over the internet. I have like videos on my TikTok that have almost 100,000 views. You see my face, so you know who I is. But a lot of y'all don't even have a decent picture. If I'm looking through your shit on your Facebook and you talking about, oh, Max, I want to holler, well, I want to talk to you, whatever. And I gotta scroll through 15 cartoon animation things. Man, by that time, I'm like a dude that's looking at your resume for a job. I see so much fluff on that shit. I just throw that shit over my shoulder and say next. I'm not doing all that. Like a lot of y'all are not getting quality dudes and what you would say, because I'm not gonna say high value as far as finance. I'm gonna say high value as far as a quality individual. Because at the end of the day, you would have that quality individual if you stop doing fuck nigga shit. A lot of y'all do fuck nigga shit. A lot of you do it. You sit there and you're putzing around and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to, date this because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Listen, if you're not ready to date, don't waste that man's time. Why are you wasting his time? And for anybody that's thinking I'm venting because I'm upset, no, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm straight. My life is good. Like I'm not. I have nothing to complain about right now. I can't even cap. You know what I'm saying? Being alive is a blessing in itself. You know what I'm saying? So for those that want to try to deflect and say, "Oh, you're saying this," because no, I'm saying this because I've counseled over 1,100 fucking people over 10 plus years, and I've heard the same love song enough times to know it's wrecking my brain like crazy, and I'm all choked up. Oh shit! I hope I don't get a copyright strike for reciting those words. Anyway, I probably said it wrong anyway. So my thing is, I'm tired. I don't need to be a consultant. I don't need to do this. I do it because I care. I do it because I want to see my people win. And I want to say something. This is something I'm going to speak to my black people especially. We need to learn to work together and come together as people. We need to understand that it is ignorant that we put so much emphasis on somebody's pocket. If that person has a job, like I've dated women that only made but so much, and I might have made 2 to 3 times more than them, and I dated them, I treated them the same way as a woman I've dated who's a fucking millionaire. I've dated women ranging from millionaires to making minimum wage. And they all got the same treatment from me. Because at the end of the day, I treat somebody by the content of the character. Money is easy to get. Trust me, anybody that knows me knows how hard I work. Money is easy to get. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about what do you bring to the table, and I hate using the table reference, but I'm going to use it right now. What do you bring as far as how can you make my life better? A lot of y'all are not improvements, and that's another thing. And this can go male or female. A lot of y'all are not improvements to your partner's life. You're a burden. If you're a woman talking about you want a man to pay 100% of the bills, let me give you some numbers. Especially if you live in New York City and you talking this shit, I could tell you can't do math. Let me give you some numbers. A family of 4, for a man to take care of a family of 4, bare minimum, he needs to be making, and this is to have some savings and to be able to afford for emergencies and be able to take maybe one vacation a year. He needs to be making between $200,000 and $250,000 on average a year to hold down all the bills and do everything, and you not have to pay nothing. Ladies, y'all are not y'all outnumber us. So I want you to understand this. You already have a small dating pool to pick from. And I know some of y'all talk about, oh, I ain't settling for nothing. Somebody is settling for you. Because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. So we all settling for something. So when you talk about you ain't settling for nothing, you want a guy that makes all the money, but is never busy, has all the free time to run behind you, waiting hand and foot, dick you down to the end of time, and all this other stuff. And meanwhile, you coming to him saying, take me as I am. I want you to make that make sense. I want you to say that out loud. I want you to tell, if you have a son, I want you to tell your son that he's supposed to put up with that shit. I want you to say that. Because a lot of y'all off the rip would be like, I'm not going to have my son have some woman have him killing himself. Hell no. Hell no. You are supposed to come together as a team and build your wealth as a team. You bring whatever you have, as long as you treat each other good. And yes, you do need to be working. Everybody needs to be putting in their part. I'm not even saying 50-50, because I'll tell you, this is my draw up. I will tell you my draw up, and I know certain people watching know what my plan is already. But I'm gonna give y'all $1 million worth of game for free 99 right now. I'm gonna tell you my plan, and guys, y'all should copy and paste this. Ladies, y'all should share this with your guys, because you can adjust this according to that. My plan is this. I will say, let's say the average rent in New York City is about $2,000. Average. Let's say I'm paying $2,000. Now I'm poly, so my relationship dynamic is gonna be poly. Meaning I'm gonna have more than one woman in my household, and I'm gonna be the king of my house. So that means I'm gonna pay the majority of that fucking mortgage or whatever payment. But trust and believe they're gonna contribute too. But if, let's say, the mortgage is $3,000, I'm gonna pay $2,000 of it because I was already paying that anyway. And I'm gonna tell them, leave your places that you have if y'all live in apartments and come move into my place, or we'll get a place together. And that place, like I said, $3,000, boom. Y'all just pay the difference between the two of y'all. And then after that, all you have to do is come up with, help out with the household stuff, a little miscellaneous stuff. Because honestly, I don't need you to do nothing with the electric bill, really. You could throw something in on it, but electric bills, whatever. The cable bill's already covered because I've been doing that. Same shit. Ain't nothing. Don't matter how many people in the house. But be my safety net. Be my capital. If I want to take some money and go invest it, we're going to come together, take that excess money that's been getting pooled on the side, take it to invest to build more wealth for ourselves. We will go together, buy properties, do this, that, and the third, and we're going to conquer this shit together. That's called teamwork. I know that's a big word for some of you, because some of you, I want a man. Okay, listen. If you want a man to pay 100% of the bills, we're going to take you back to 1950. I wish I had a MAGA hat so I could put it on my head. Because when they say make America great again, that's what the fuck they talking about. They want to take this shit back to 1955. So you want to go back to 1955? Let's go back to 1955. Woman, you don't have no rights. I don't even think they had the right to vote in 1955. So you can cook my food, shut the fuck up, suck my dick, and fuck me when I tell you to. That's the way you want to live? I don't think so. I don't want to live that way. I don't even want women like that. I want women, yes, submission is a thing that is absolute in my household. But one thing that I will say is everybody's opinion is respected. That is how you set yourself up. I'm giving you the structure right here. This is the blueprint. For those of you, because I know I have a lot of people who are poly that watch this. I know I have a lot of people who maybe their relationships in turbulence. And there's another thing too. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, like I said, I'm giving you the blueprint to give you the structure. So this way you understand what it is that you need to do in order to have a successful life of quality. Stop nitpicking. Y'all nitpick and y'all pick till you pick shit. That is a West Indian saying. Pick till you pick shit. That's what you end up doing when you're picking. Oh, I'm picky. We picky too. Ain't nobody not picky. We all picky together. But at the end of the day, guess what? It comes down to we have to figure out, pardon me, I'm plugging in my computer. We have to figure out what it is that we want out of this life for real. You have to make that decision yourself. because a lot of you don't take the time to make that decision. Like I said, you go into these hot pocket relationships. Next thing you know, they're out of them just as fast as you in them because you didn't let them cook, because you didn't vet them through. You know what I love? Having an hour or multi-hour conversations when I'm really truly trying to feel somebody out to see where I want to go with them. Because then I can really learn who they is. There's people that I literally met off of Facebook dating that I had those conversations with, realized, you know what, you're cool, but you're not for me. And I saved myself a date. I don't care about spending the money. I spend money on stupid shit sometimes. I care about my time, because time is the one currency that once you spend it, no matter how hard you work, you ain't getting it back. That shit gone. I value my time more than anything else. I don't have a problem sitting on the phone and jonesing around for an hour or two so I can feel it out when I'm really vetting somebody out to see where they stand. And that's something that I think a lot of people need to normalize. My success rate is very high. That's why I've never been married. Why? Because once I get married, I won't be getting divorced. And if y'all want to learn how to have a poly marriage, I will teach y'all. For those of y'all who want to have more than one wife, there's a loophole around that. And I could teach you that, but I ain't doing that on here. Now, I also want to go to the relationship dynamics. Now, some people operate, and this is for the relationship people, they come out into these relationships. If you're going to go to an event, here's the thing. I'll say this. Don't make your first date with somebody that you really like a swinger event. There was a video that I posted a while ago. This dude went on first date with this girl. Oh yeah, swinger event. They railed that girl 15 ways to Sunday, and he was forced to sit there. Yeah, Lems, that could apply for a husband too. But Lems, you know you ain't gonna be able to pull that off, so just stop. You know why I say that too. But if you really want to know, Lems, I will help you with that. But I still don't think that's gonna sell. But anyway, so get comfortable with your partner, know your partner before you come out to a swing event. You don't have to have seen them 1,500 times. You could have maybe only went on one date, but if you've had a lot of good conversation, really learned each other so that you understand where each other's coming from, nothing that will happen when you go to these parties will rock your boat. You will go there, have a great fucking time, be on the same page, be able to move on. Like I said, a lot of y'all is speeding. There's nothing wrong with meeting up and saying you want to play. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with first time fucking. That's cool too. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that there has to come a point where if you want somebody serious, you have to take your time a little bit. Like I said, relationship is like a fine piece of meat. You have to cook it properly and thoroughly and know when to take it off that fire and then dig in and eat it. You can't just dive into this shit and throw it in the fucking microwave. You know what a steak would taste like if you threw it in the microwave? That should be garbage. And I'm telling you, as a person who spent $150, $200 on a plate of steak, easily. I'll spend more than that. But anyway, the point is that I want you to be able to take your time and build that up. Now, going into the relationships, for those that are already in relationships, please, when you come outside, can we normalize making sure that everybody is secure in themselves before we come out? Because I'm going to tell you, us single people in the community that's still feeling our way around and we're having our fun too, do you know that we have no interest in having to deal with the toxicity that happens between you and your partner? Seeing y'all acting all insecure. Many times I go to an event and you seeing them holding on to their woman and they looking all nervous. Why are you at a swing party if you ain't swinging? Just saying. Yes, I'm going to judge dynamics right now. We judge everything else. I'm a judge because I'm like, even if you're just saying swinging, if you only want to play with girls, that's cool. But there are many occasions where it's not because the woman only wants to play with girls. It's because the man is not secure enough in himself to swing. So it's just about humping on the females, and she's not getting what she wants. Again, this circles the block back to what I was talking about before when I said about resentment being formed between one another. These things fester, turn to resentment. So many times I see a couple. I remember one time I played with this girl. She didn't know who the fuck she was playing with, and clearly he didn't. Because I dogged her shit out all night. This dude calling her phone, and I'm still stroking. Of course, she has a special ringtone for him, so she knew it was him. And I was like, go ahead and answer the phone and see what he wants because he's probably looking for you. And my thing is, in that case, the dude was feeling away because he wasn't getting no play and she was. Meanwhile, I'm in my hotel room with her. She let him know before she went to play, like, hey, I'm gonna go play. Blah 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 blah. Maybe because he's used to people only taking about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not that guy. So I guess he didn't know that. Now he probably figured that out. But, end of the day, guess where that relationship went? Because it was a lopsided relationship where one person was able to enjoy themselves, the other person only did something sometime and whatever. No, like I said, you have to find somebody who balances you, who complements you. This can go for poly as well as mono. Even if you're just in a one-on-one relationship and you wanna just have a little extra something on the side, you gotta find something that balances you. Y'all don't work on balance. Y'all don't focus on finding that balance. Y'all just look for that first shiny little toy and y'all want to jump on that shit and don't know nothing about their mentality, and then you wondering why you're in the shit. Let me see what Roxy said because she's very smart. Me and her had a really great conversation a couple of weeks ago. Let me see. She was like, swing parties are very different from lifestyle parties. Swinging is predominantly for couples. Lifestyle is a big umbrella of shit, true. So if she is at a lifestyle party for girls only, that's her choice. That's very true. That's why I said swing party. I'm glad you caught that, Roxy. Now, I will say this. I kind of modify that because there are so many swingers in the lifestyle that are single. I call them swingles. You can be at a swing party and be single, but like I said, you need to understand what is it that you're walking into. Of course, there's no prerequisite that you saying you have to do something because you're there. But the thing is, if you're going to be there, you need to understand that there's a reason why you're there and not act brand new when people are acting like that's something that, oh my God, this person's talking about sex. Yes, they're talking about sex. You know why? Because guess what? It's a swinger party, dum dum. We came here to swing a ling a ling. You could be a swingle or a couple. You swinging away. And the thing is, any swing party that I throw is never just swing couples and girls only. Mm-mm. Because I personally feel, this is my personal opinion, that every single woman don't want to play with somebody's man. They might just want to have a couple of different male experiences. And I think I think that it's chauvinistic, and like I said, this is my personal opinion, so I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I respect your all opinions, but this is my opinion. I think it's chauvinistic when they have parties and they say couples and girls only. Why are we doing that in 2024? Because many times I've talked to many girls, a lot of women talk to me, and I'll hear them complaining, "Oh, there's hardly any single guys there." And then the ones that are in couples either have women who are acting funny and whatever because they don't really want them to play with nobody without them there, or they got to babysit the shit, or they want to be the coach. Yeah, do it like this. Oh, do it like that. Shut the fuck up. I know what I'm doing. Because that's annoying. Have your fun over there. We don't need no coach here. I'm 44 years old. I've been humping for a long time. I don't need your help. I'll probably do it better than you anyway. So you don't need to coach me. Go sit on the side. Have a Coke and a smile, shut the fuck up, or I'm in the back, you get in the front and give us something to suck on. Something. Anyway, got me ranting because that's just a pet peeve. Anyway, like I said, the number one problem is I personally think that in 2024, with so many single people in the LS/swinger community, matter of fact, let's just stick to the swinger community. The LS thing is a whole big umbrella of stuff like Roxy said. I'm not even going to touch on that today. Just in the swing community, there are so many single people in it that it deserves to be respected as its own entity within this community. There's no more. Back in the days, it really was just couples and single women, and I know blah, blah, blah. This ain't 1994. This ain't 1985. It's 2024. In this day and age, I just think we need to cut out the whole couples and girls only. That's why certain places I don't even like to go to. I go to them because I want to support my friends when they throw events. But I personally don't really like them that much because that rides sour on me because I'm coming single anyway. Because I'm one of the few select single men that gets to walk in. But that's not fun because maybe I don't feel like having to deal with somebody's insecure relationship dynamic. Because many times when I'm sitting there and I'm talking to a woman and she's with her man or whatever, and I could see her man's looking at me because he's kind of like, there's a big ass dude, whatever. She's kind of looking a little excited, and we're having a good conversation, but he's kind of like pulling her back, like, nah. I don't got time to play that game. I just want to link up with like-minded people that want to do some bald-headed hoe shit. And I was one of the first people saying that shit, so you hear other people saying that they got it from me. Anyway, my whole thing is you need to make this a fun, interactive situation. And Sapphire, I agree, it does sound boring. I want to be there just nuzzling around a bunch of couples. Mm-mm. Now, some couples are exception because they're really cool. But what I tend to see is a lot of couples tend to duck in their corners. They stay to themselves. My thing is why are you coming to a social event and not interact? That doesn't make sense to me. Stay home. Save your money. Save your gas. Have a Netflix and chill night with your wife. That's perfectly fine. Why are you coming to a party to be antisocial? Like, I'll literally sometimes try to talk to people and then they're still looking kind of, I pick up on the energy quickly because I have a gift for reading people. So I see it quickly and I say, okay, they're not sociable like that. Let me move on. Who has time for that? When you come to these events, you want to, whatever, have a good time, da-da-da-da-da. We need to get back to that. Now, last thing I'll say, because it's almost, an hour? Jesus. I've been running my mouth. I could talk by myself like a motherfucker. Also, if somebody would like to be on here sometime, I don't mind having you on. Just have something to say and be able to speak in complete sentences. I ain't got time for no muck mouth talking ass because you doing that, I'm gonna kick you out of the studio. Like I don't have the energy for bad English. You can have an accent, that's fine, but people need to understand what you're saying. Because I hate that. I've literally tried to watch some podcasts when they're sounding all crazy and they start talking like that. I'm looking at them like, nah, skip, and I'm moving on to the next thing. Also, another thing in these relationships, can you learn to be honest with one another? How are you in a swing lifestyle and you sneak in, and the girls do it too? I know because they've done it with me. That's right, I'm snitching on the podcast. Oh well, ain't nobody gonna kick my ass, so get over it. Some of y'all be sneaking. Women be sneaking. Men be sneaking. How are we sneaking in an open atmosphere? The reason why I jumped into this shit is because I love transparency. I love it. I'm 6'6", 320 pounds. I do not have time to be tiptoeing around and ducking and hiding and sneaking. No. I'm walking out like, here I am. That's the one thing my father imparted on me with his useless ass. As he was like, never be a sneak. Don't be peeking around a corner. Step out. What up? I'm here. A lot of people don't do that. Learn to be open and honest with each other, which rolls into another thing, communication. I spoke about that before, but this is a little different because it's communication with each other. Learn to be open, honest, have an honest dialogue about what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Ladies, stop doing stuff for these guys. If you really don't like it, don't fucking do it. There's so many women that are in this community and they only here to feed women to their men to keep them happy so that they don't leave them. And it can be you, and it's probably you, so don't act like it ain't. Because I'm looking at you. You're doing it. Yes, you are. That has to stop. Oof, let me scroll this down. Sorry. On my computer, this girl's jiggling her damn cheeks, and them shits is cheeking, boy. There's another video I posted in my social experiment group. Anyway, yeah, but like I said, you have to have an open dialogue, open, honest communication with one another so that you can function in this community properly. A lot of you don't have that. Like I said, and this goes back and see connective tissue. And I have ADD, so sometimes I go off the rails, but everything I'm saying actually connects. This goes back to the well-cooked steak thing. This goes back to taking your time. This goes back to all of that. Because at the end of the day, you will not have a successful relationship if you don't listen to me. If you go do what you want to do, okay, keep doing that. You'll either be on my couch eventually or somebody else's, and you be crying to them, oh, I don't understand why none of my relationships work. What's wrong with me? You got one thing right. Something is wrong with you. You don't listen. You have to recognize that you need to thoroughly communicate back and forth. Hey, I don't like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I will explain. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a rule. And I've said this too whenever I'm dating a woman. And one of my friends is like this too. I don't know if he's on here, but one of my friends like this too. If your mind or you're with me, like if we're together in a relationship and we're as swingers, have fun. Full swap. It's all good. But there are certain guidelines. And I explain these things. My number one is only I'm allowed to treat you in a dominant way. You can have your fun, but nobody else is allowed to establish dominance over you except for me. That's just my rule. It's not a right or wrong thing, it's a me thing. That's something that I communicate whenever I'm talking to somebody and I'm telling them how, when we operate in that community, that's how we need to be. See that? You know how that happens? Through conversation, communication. When you take your time and let it cook, you learn these things. So this way you don't go to the party not having no conversations because y'all was too busy being goofballs, acting like y'all don't know how to pick up a phone and y'all just send this stupid little text. How's your day today? Oh, what are you doing? Listen, my hands is busy and I got things to do. I'm running like 3 different events at the same time while doing this podcast, and I got like 3 different jobs. I ain't got time to be messaging with you all day. You pick up the phone and call me, or we ain't gonna talk, or we ain't gonna have much communication. That is the life of a busy and successful person. You want that kind of person? Pick up the fucking phone. Like I said, you have to take your time, learn these people, so this way, when you go to these parties, you don't see when you don't end up in your feelings because you're seeing your girl getting fucking gripped by the neck by some other dude and he going in on. Oh hell no! Not allowed to do that. That's one of my no-nos. Now, again, if you don't communicate these things, no way for her to know, so she's just having a good time. But then you and your feelings, and more than likely as a man, when you and your feelings, you turn to Mr. Noodles. So now you can't even function to have fun on your half of the event atmosphere because you're too busy in your feelings because you saw her getting railed and dominated and hooping and hollering and all of that. And that shit fucked with you because you wasn't ready. If you speak on these things, those kind of things won't happen. And that's another thing too. Now, Mark, I'm gonna say this. When it's saying no controlling and no or trying to control, I'm dominant. So I do tend to control my women a little bit. But they ultimately have the freedom because it's their body, their choice. But I tend to have a little bit of control. I can't front. I do. And the reason why is because I'm there to protect them. And that's another thing. Let's touch on this. Something I experienced. Now, I'm not the type of person to stop somebody from having a fun. Those that know me will know if I got somebody with me and you've ever said you was interested in them or whatever, my answer is always, go ahead, have fun. As long as she's comfortable with it, go ahead. Never have I said, nah, chill. Never. Never have I ever. But on the off chance that I do come to you and I say, listen, I'm not feeling such and such, I don't think you should fuck with him. And your answer is, oh, I like to do what I want. I don't want you to control whatever. All right, cool. I not open that bird cage and I'll let them fly. Just understand, they ain't coming back to this tree. Because there is a hierarchy. There's supposed to be. The buck has to stop with somebody. In my structure, those that operate under my structure will understand this. So those who operate in similar structures, like what I'm talking about, understand what I'm saying. I'm not the type to speak up on stuff like that. I keep that stuff to myself. But when I do speak up on it, I expect you to listen, react, and follow my instruction. Because I'm only saying that for your best interest and to protect your well-being. You could be about to lay up with Larry Lump Lump, And I'm sitting up there telling you, hey, don't do that because that's Larry Lump Lump. And you don't know that, but I do because I know a hell of a lot of shit. Now, you go ahead and do it anyway. Okay, that's cool. Now you can stay there with Larry because I ain't got nothing else to do with you. Might want to go make sure you all right. If you are a woman and you are looking for leadership, when that man comes to lead, be ready to follow him. Don't give him a hard time. That doesn't mean you don't have an opinion. Of course you have an opinion. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to be, yes, sir, no, sir. Nobody's talking that, so don't be extreme. If the person is telling you, hey, I need you to follow my lead and I promise to lead you into a better tomorrow, follow that lead. But you take your time to know him, to know if he's a viable leader. Because some of y'all end up on a rudderless ship because you just jumped in the first boat that was steaming in your way. And you're just lost at sea. Or you end up with a Madden King that comes over to your crib with his PlayStation, hooks it up to his TV, and he there every day. Eating your kids' fruit snacks and watching fucking anime, Dragon Ball on the TV. And he works occasionally, but you the one killing yourself. He don't even clean the house. You end up with that because y'all ain't take y'all time to figure out what this guy really was. That's your fault. I want to go out of business one day when it comes to my consulting. That's my goal, is to go out of business. That's why I'm doing this podcast, is to go out of business one day and just be on this podcast talking about other shit, because I got plenty of things I can talk about. I got content coming out my ears. I don't even have to write this shit down because I got so much shit in my head, it's crazy. You have to realize if you want to affect your outcome, it is up to you as an individual, each one of you. If each one of you takes my advice and then passes that advice times 10. By the way, this video is public and it's on my public Facebook page, so share it, please. Thank you. Let people see it. Even if they see it later, I don't care. It's cool. It'll be up so they can see it when they have time. You watch it on YouTube, preferably. Like, share, and subscribe. Like it says under the ticker. We all, exactly, Mark, each one teaches one. You want a better community? Then you have to start with yourself. Don't complain about the community and you ain't doing nothing to improve it. I'm trying to do something to improve it by talking about it. Let me say the things that you don't want to say if you don't want to say it. Let me talk about the guys that's fuck-ass dudes that know that their girls want to play with other men, but they hold them hostage because they too insecure that somebody else got a bigger dick than they do. Yeah, I said it. Or that they gonna dick them down to a different level than what they. So what? Let them have that. If that woman love you, you think that woman ain't had better dick than you already? Let me tell you something, fellas. No matter how good you fuck, there's a chance that somebody better than you has already came and gone. And guess what? That dude is still gone. Why? Because it ain't just that. She's loving you for other reasons. Of course, you're still putting in that work and she's satisfied with you sexually. But if that is your number one fear, then you should just be monogamous. Because it ain't right. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're setting up a toxic relationship. Toxic relationships create more pee in the dating pool. And I ain't gonna stand in this shit. So I'm here to kick y'all motherfuckers the fuck up out this shit. And I'm talking to the men because us as kings gotta take the first fucking move and stop being bitches. Pardon my language. But y'all really need to take off the skirts and put on your man pants. It's different if your dynamic is and your girl legit says, "Listen, I am totally happy with just your dick. I just like a little extra. I just want to I just want to eat pussy with you sometime, or whatever, or blah 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 blah." Or you might be the type that likes to watch him fuck other girls and blah 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 blah. That's cool. That's totally cool. But for you guys who hold your women hostage by gaslighting them, by manipulating them, just so you can have your cake and eat it too, y'all are goofies, and I don't respect you. When I see you, I can't even look you in the eye because I think if you was a clown. I don't care if you feel a way about it, because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna do nothing about it. I said it because it needs to be said. And if I'm gonna be a leader, then I need to be able to stand on business. And that's what I'm doing right now, because it's not fair to hold a woman hostage like that. A lot of women are so loving and so caring that they will fucking manipulate and alter the heaven, moons, and earth just to be with that guy, trying to make a square peg fit into a round hole. That is where the men are accountable. Women, you are accountable because you're allowing him to do that. You could leave. What's the worst that could happen? He leaves. You have 550 guys in your inbox. Maybe at least 5 of them might actually want to take you on a date. It might be worth something. Out of that, at least one of them might be worth engaging in this the way you want to. Stop wasting time. Understand, time is a currency. Ain't none of y'all getting no younger. Most of my crowd is over 30. I'm pretty sure everybody here is somewhere between 35 and up that's watching this right now. You can't tell me that time is on your side, because it ain't. Especially if you still trying to make babies and have a family. That clock ticking against you. So you need to get with people who's on your timing. Stop going for the shiny thing just because it's the shiny thing. That's why a lot of y'all end up in these relationships that are failures. It's not because, oh, the guys play games. No, it's because you're a failure. You're a failure because you refuse to modify and adapt to make sure that you are in the best situation that can be possible for yourself. Instead, what you choose to do is you choose the victim blame. You choose to point the finger over here and whatever. Listen, we all grown ups. Unless somebody forced you, like physically dominated you and held you down and forced you to be in this thing, Stockholmed your ass and all of that other shit, 99% of y'all ain't in that situation. But this is what happens when you have a collection of people that don't want to take any accountability. This is what happens when you have people who never want to try anything different, but wonder why they keep failing. You want something different, you have to do something different to get it. That's why I have like 3 jobs. That's why I also operate in multiple events, doing all this other stuff, because I can sit back on my skill set now and be comfortable in whatever in my life. But the thing is, I don't want regular. I want spectacular. So anybody that just wants regular, that's cool, but they're not for me, because I'm on a different type of level. And there's nothing wrong with being average. There's nothing wrong with just being happy, go to work, come home, da da da. That's cool. But that's not me. So I expect my woman or women to be spectacular. And that is not just about how they look, because how they look can vary. I like many different shapes, sizes, and flavors. But it's going to be about who you are as a person. that's going to be the determining factor as to how spectacular you are with me. That's going to be what's going to make me decide if I'm going to fuck with you. And I'm going to tell you, people that operate and vibrate on this wavelength, a lot of you women that hearing this, these are the kind of men that a lot of y'all want from what I know. You want a man like that, there's certain concessions you're going to have to make. You're going to have to actually be persistent. You're going to have to hit him up too. That means you can't just sit back and say, oh, well, he messaged me. I'll let him message me again, and then maybe I'll hit him back because I don't want to look thirsty. Ain't nothing wrong with looking interested. Looking interested is not being thirsty. Even that conversation of being thirsty is childish. When I hear women talk about that, I look at them and say, you mad childish. Because as an adult, we pursue each other because I ain't chasing y'all. Only thing I chase is my liquor. And I got plenty of that back there. I ain't chasing y'all. I'll pursue. I'll show interest. And if it ain't reciprocated, next. Because let me tell you something. It ain't nothing for me to click a couple of buttons and find, listen, there's a whole, and then women, y'all don't have the leverage in the dating field. I can tell you just on Facebook dating alone, the women between 35 and 55 are on that share hard body, clicking that like button, hoping to make a motherfucking connection like crazy. Looking for men like myself. So if you ain't rocking with it, they will be happy to step right into your shoes and take your spot. And you could go stand in that pool of pee that you've gotten so used to. On that note, I'm getting off of this. I do appreciate y'all coming on. And I'm hungry, so I'm going to go get me some food. But I do appreciate everybody coming on. Please go to the YouTube page. I'm going to share the YouTube page on my Facebook. Like, share, and subscribe. I got plenty of content on there. I got enough videos on there to last you forever. Mark, the topic we was talking about, just relationship dynamics. But that spins into subtopics, which got me where I am now. But don't worry about it. This video is going to be up. Watch it from the beginning. Like I said, I need y'all like, share, and subscribe. I got to get these subscribers up now. I'm doing this shit for real now. Every week, 9 p.m., right here. It might be 9:05 when there's technical difficulties like today. Then the hallelujah nonsense earlier, but I need y'all also to share this. Share this on your pages. A lot of y'all, you know who you are. Send me stuff all the time to share. I need y'all to be sharing this. I need this subscribe count up because the men need to hear this from a man that ain't afraid to say what needs to be said. And the women need to hear this because the women need to understand that women that like guys like me, that like a leader, somebody that wants to be a protector, provider, and a partner, you need that. And being a provider, and this is one other thing I'll say before I go. Being a provider does not mean that he's just paying for everything. A provider provides counsel. He provides protection. He provides leadership. He provides emotional support. He provides spiritual support. He provides a higher quality of life than you would have had by yourself. That doesn't mean that he's just paying for everything. That is being a provider. That will lead to you having a long-term, long-lasting relationship. Don't believe me? Don't take my word for it. Give it a try. Lord knows what you're doing ain't been working. You fucked up. There wasn't another video, Mark. Don't worry about that. That was a test thing. I got to take that down. This is the video right here. But like I said, end of the day, I appreciate everybody for coming on here. 9 p.m. Tuesday. We on here. I'm going to give a shout out to my Discreet Fans Pillow Talk. That comes on Mondays, 9 o'clock. We got the BLK, the Black Experience, goes on Wednesday. I believe that's at 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm trying to remember right now. But check them out. I've shared their thing on my Facebook and in my Facebook group. Give them a follow too. We got to support each other. This community is very small. It's a very small community. We need to take care of each other. We all we got. We can listen, I want to break bread and see all my friends win. It's not a competition because they got a podcast, I got a podcast. There's plenty of room for all of us here. I want us all to win. Anyway, I got so much more I could say, but I really am hungry. That's why my brain is drifting now. I am going to holler at y'all later. Be safe and try something different. Each and every one of y'all. Whatever you've been doing that obviously ain't been working, if you single, it ain't worked. Do something different and see how that works for you. Check your inbox and look down the list. See who came at you respectfully and give them a response. And just have a DM conversation first. If you like what you hear, get on the phone, feel them out. You'll vet people out like that, and you'll stop monkey branching relationships. You'll stop having these hot pocket relationships. I want to see my people win. I love seeing love in a lifestyle. We have a couple of people in lifestyle getting married this year. It's fucking dope. That's what I want to see. One day it's going to be me, but I'm going to have 2 wives. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I will holler at y'all because I could talk to y'all all day. But I will holler at y'all. Yes, Jeep, watch it from the beginning. It'll be on my YouTube page. Go to my YouTube page, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to holler at y'all anyway. Peace out. Be safe. And 9 o'clock this time next week. Bye-bye.